Visit us at Eduvo. Thank you for calling Eduvo.
Hello, in this Visual Basic programming video, we are going to cover outputting to the console. So to do that is actually, really simple. So in our main method, so this is the entry point of our application. So inside here, we will put console dot write, and there's two different ways that you can do it. You can do write and write line. So let's just have a look at what both of them do. And they require a parameter. So if you just put some empty quotation markers, put hello world. So let's run it, see what we get. So you might have seen it briefly said hello world, but it did actually stop afterwards. So we don't actually want it to just abruptly stop. So what we'll do is when we debug it, which is so if we start without debugging, so that's the version we want. So if we do debug start without debugging, this will be very fast. So start with debugging, and as you see, so press any key to continue. Hello world. If I change this to write line, for example, now, and if I save it, click debug start without debugging, the hello world now is actually on a whole nother line. It's on its own line, and anything else will be below it. So that's just something to bear in mind. Let's see what happens if we put a console dot write, so just a regular write, and if we put in awesome, and I'll put something below it, console dot write, and I'll put project. So awesome hello world project. What's this saying? No, we don't need that, that's fine. It's more of a suggestion, we don't need it. And I forgot, I want to do it without debugging. Oh, here it is. As you can see, the right line, it doesn't put the entire content on a whole new line. It just says at the end of hello world there's a new line character. That's basically the equivalent of what it is saying. And as you can see, project is on a whole nother line. Awesome is on the same line. And as an extra task, put a bunch of console.write on the same line without the right line. And I'm pretty sure you can guess what that is obviously going to do as well. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's not very difficult at all. What you could do is use variables and even functions within here to print stuff out. We'll be covering that in a separate video when I have implemented the code for variables and covered all of that cool stuff. But what you can do is combine strings, and this will be useful when you get to variables. But what you would do is put something like an ampersand. Now put the other piece of data that you want to print out. So if I just put space, you are amazing. Maybe put another space, and if I go to start without debugging, as you can see, it says awesome, you are amazing, and then hello world. So that's how you can combine pieces of data in the console. So depending on your application, you may or may not want to use consoles. If it's more GUI based, that's fine. It's still useful even in those scenarios when you're debugging, testing, and creating your application. That's it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Please like, subscribe, all of that really cool stuff. And as usual, I look forward to seeing you in the next programming video. Hello, in this Visual Basic programming video, I am going to show you comments. So comments are a way of writing something in your code that does not get compiled. The benefit of this is maybe you have some complex algorithm, some complex function that you've created yourself, and you're just describing it in real world English. That's great for yourself when you come back at a later date, and it's great for other programmers as well, because you will probably be doing work with other coders, whether it's on a large project or whether it's just because it's maybe open source, for example, and other coders are looking at it. So it just helps. Another benefit of comments is it allows you to actually do something called commenting out code, which means that code won't run, and that's great for testing. So if you want to see how your application runs or doesn't run without a certain piece of code, very common when, let's say, something's not working the way you want it to, and you want to see, is it this piece of code or is it this? Instead of deleting it, you can just comment and uncomment it. So the first sort of scenario, I'll show you how to write a comment that just sort of describes something. You just put single quotation and you start writing. So if I say, hello, this is awesome, so run it. As you can see, it runs, but hello, this is awesome doesn't appear anywhere because this actually gets removed when it's compiled. And if I do on another line, the code works fine. But if I want a multi-line comment, you have to do this, unfortunately. You'll have to do another one of these. So that's how you do like a comment like that. And if you want to comment out like a line of code, you just put a single quotation mark. You can put a space here. I like doing that. Well, I like it if I'm describing something. If I'm just commenting out code, I'll do it like this. If I run this now, it says world I am Farhan. It still actually sounds, it still makes sense. So that's pretty cool. But that is no longer getting run because it's been commented out. Let me show you something else pretty cool. If you have like a lot of code that you want to comment out, instead of doing this and this and this, what you could do is, let's say if I want to comment out these 3 lines, if you go here, there is a comment out the selected lines, and that's Control K. If I click that, it comments it out. If I select this button, uncomment the selected lines, it uncomments them out. But if I keep pressing it, it doesn't, keep uncommenting because they've already been commented out. Let's do it on these lines. If I press that, it removes it. Obviously, this will produce an error because that is not a valid, line of code. And that's it for this video on comments. Very simple stuff. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next programming tutorial. Hello, in this Visual Basic programming video, we are going to cover variables. So what are variables? Variable is just a way of containing a value, like a number, like a word, for example, and you can store it, you can modify it, and you can use it in several different locations. So let me show you how to create a variable. So what you do is put dim, now you put your variable name. So I'm going to say, I'll literally just say name, then you say as, and this is saying it's going to be as a particular data type. There's going to be a separate video in the series that will cover data types, so check that out. But the principle is the same once you know all the data types. So we're literally only going to cover, I'd say, 1 or 2 data types in this video, but we'll cover all the others in the next one. Okay, so we're going to say integer, so which is just a whole number, like so. And now to assign a value, we just do name, or the name of the variable. So name equals 4, for example. Now we can use it anywhere we want. So we could do console.write line, and we could just do name, for example. Let's run it, see what we get. And I need to start with that debugging. There we go, it says 4. Pretty cool. What we could do is even, let's say if we do another console.write line, we could, let's say if we create another variable, so dim, I don't know, I'll call it var2 as integer, var2 equals 8, and in here I could print out var2, so you can see we've got 2 separate variables. And if I run it, see what we get. I need to do control 5, so 4 and 8. We can go a step further and do console.write line and put name times by var2. Let me just sort this out. So this just times the values together. So if I run it in debug mode, 4 times 8 is 32. And that's it. Really, honestly, there's not much more to it than that for variables. So dim specifies that you're creating a variable. Then you specify your variable name. This has to be unique, just bear that in mind. Then you specify what data type it is, and this is what will change. You could even create your own data type, for example, your own class, and we'll be covering that later on in the series. And we're going to have another video that covers data types, but process is the same. Feel free to experiment. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next programming video.